All right, man. You ready to talk about Creed 3?
Did we talk about Creed 2?
Oh, fuck!
Welcome back to the Out of Touch podcast. I'm Chris, and that's Bill. Today we watched Creed 3. So, Bill, what did you think of Creed 3?
What did you think of Creed 3?
I really liked it. It was super cool.
Not a bad first outing for Michael B. Jordan as a director.
Yeah. It's the continuing story of Adonis Creed, except now he is retired, and he's kind of just living the high life where a person from his past comes into the picture, and then they have to fight.
Because that's how these movies go.
Yes.
Stuff happens, and then people fight. You can't break from that. If they made a movie in this series where nobody fought in a fist fight, somebody did something wrong.
It's like a procedural, drama with, a court case all of a sudden.
Just saying, people would want their money back if there wasn't a fight at the end of a Rocky or Creed movie. Be like, what did we just do? Imagine Rocky 4. Drago kills Apollo Creed, and then the rest of it's just like a court hearing. And it's like the UN's involved. There's all this international drama. And Rocky's like, I should have threw in the towel. I don't know what to tell you. And then that's it. That's the movie.
The movie just focuses on the prosecutor after that.
Yeah. Rocky's just there, but he's just sort of like a witness.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do, Adrian.
It would be a weird movie. And that would be the movie that gets the Oscar. It's brilliant.
The first movie got an Oscar.
That's true. It did get an Oscar.
Yeah.
But best actor.
Probably not.
Not for Sylvester Stallone, the guy playing the prosecutor.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they'd get someone of note. Who would have been a note in the mid '80s?
James Earl Jones.
That actually sounds really good.
Anyway, Creed number 3, the third Creed movie.
Numbers. I love numbers.
Yeah.
I know exactly what Creed movie we're talking about.
Exactly. How to go about talking about this movie? Because there's a lot of cool stuff in the movie.
Well, yeah. I guess set it up. It's about maybe 7 years after the last movie. We get a little peek of his last fight where he fights Conlon again, who's, I guess, now finally out of jail and back in the ring.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, that guy. We also get Drago in the movie, the son.
Victor Drago.
Yeah, I guess Creed and Drago are friends now. Well, they were never really enemies.
Yeah, it kind of makes me wish there was a deleted scene in Creed 2 where the two of them have a little moment in the locker room after the fight where it's like, oh, this could have kind of been building from that.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have cut that.
Yeah, but I guess the main, I don't know, antagonist. I don't want to call him villain because nobody's really a villain in this movie.
Yeah, he's firmly an antagonist. A bit more villainous than some other Rocky guys. He is definitely the most overtly villainous of the Creed movies.
Yes.
And he's also the only one that's not played by a real boxer.
Yeah.
It's what's his name? Kang.
Jonathan Majors.
Yes. He's all over the place right now.
He is. He's gigantic.
He really is. You don't realize it until you see him against Michael B. Jordan, he's a pretty tall dude himself.
Yeah. But yeah, so Jonathan.
Because you can't trust him in Marvel stuff because everyone's CGI'd and shit. But no, he's just a big ass dude.
Yeah, he's a real huge dude. But yeah, he plays Damien, who is Adonis's friend, and Damien's kind of interesting because there's this one scene kind of at the beginning of the movie where it sort of reminded me of he's kind of a little bit like Rocky in a way where he's older. It's maybe you're too old to do boxing. There's that thing where he's training in his apartment. He's got his little notebook and stuff, and I was kind of oh, is he anti-Rocky? But then I was no, he's very much his own character, but kind of hints of Rocky in him, though.
There's hints of Rocky. You could argue some hints of Clubber Lang, because Clubber, I think, may have been in jail. I'm not sure. He's definitely a guy with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And even just a little bit of Tommy Gunn from Rocky 5, who Rocky took him as a protege, who he then had a falling out with and had a fight.
In the street.
Yeah.
Rocky V's weird, isn't it?
Rocky V is like any other Rocky movie, but there's weird 90s shit in it, like music and stuff.
Okay.
And then where every other Rocky movie would then have a training montage and a boxing match, there's just a street fight. They just go right into a street fight.
Yeah.
Like, there's just like a half hour missing from that movie almost, it feels like, of what would lead to like every other Rocky movie. Where there'd just be a fight in a boxing ring. Instead, it's just, fuck it, let's go outside, do it now.
It's fine. But, yeah, Damien's been in jail for like 18 years because of what happened between him and Adonis. More or less, the person from their group home who kind of was an asshole that would like beat them up as kids, Adonis saw him on the street and just started beating the shit out of him. And then...
I was a little confused as to whether or not he worked at the group home, or I guess he also lived at the group home.
Yeah,
I guess he was someone else that lived there. I was a little confused by that, but
yeah,
he kind of like sprinkled the information throughout it.
Yeah, because like Adonis kind of referred to him as like he was like the dad of the group home, but like he could have just been like the oldest guy living at the group home.
Yeah,
and then just like beat on the kids living there.
Full disclosure, there's a few little details I might have missed here and there because there was just like a group of giggling preteens in the theater for some fucking reason.
Yeah, it happens.
What are you doing in Creed 3?
I don't know.
This movie's not for you, child.
You know, that theater in Virginia that's doing no kids after 7 o'clock?
They're doing the Lord's work.
It's like, I hope that catches on, maybe.
I have to.
Yeah.
At least no unaccompanied minors.
Yeah, no respect.
God.
Maybe we're just old.
No, that's some bullshit right there.
That's bullshit.
No, during the movie, you shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You laugh at a joke. You cheer when the bad guy wins. That's fine. But if you're making noise during a, spoiler alert, tragic death scene, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. So weird.
This isn't a midnight movie, like a so bad it's good crap movie. Fuck off.
Yeah.
But back to what we were saying.
Okay. So.
There was an incident. He drew a gun.
Yeah. He had prior charges, so they kind of just threw the book at him.
Pretty much. They railroaded his ass. Though he also said something about it sounds like he earned himself 2 more years. Probably getting into fights.
Yeah. Yeah. He was kind of like an amateur boxer too. Like his background was, he had Golden Gloves and he was kind of starting to kind of make his way up through, I guess like whatever the minor leagues of boxing were. But then, got incarcerated. And pretty much like he's out and he's angry at the world.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
He's kind of angry at his old friend.
Yeah. So, man, it's weird. I'm trying to think, like before we get into the fighting stuff, because there's some things to say. I don't know. Like, Adonis has a very fancy house, and he has a lot of really cool clothes in the movie. I was kind of like, I need to get better clothes.
I don't know if you can pull them off.
I don't know either. But
I do like the touch that he's like friendly with the younger Drago.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat. I like that. Not quite shades of Apollo and Rocky, but just sort of like, yeah, he didn't kill my dad, so I can be friends with him.
Yeah.
But fuck his dad. Fuck his dad. I'll be nice to him, but fuck him.
Yeah. He's like training at the gym in like, Los Angeles now with like that guy Duke.
He's firmly a businessman now.
Yeah. He's training this new fighter. I think his name was Felix. He's like the current like trainer, champion, yeah. I should say, because Apollo retired as champion, which Adonis.
Apollo. He tried to retire, didn't quite stay retired. Should have stayed retired because he died.
That's right. Yeah. So. Anyway, Adonis retired as, I guess, the undisputed champion.
Yeah.
And also there was some like weirdness with the belts because the champion had like a bunch of belts because like they said he was like a unified champion.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, I don't know specifics about boxing championships, but
Yeah.
that's probably a thing.
I feel like 3 belts is too many belts. Like, how do you?
I mean, if it's a unified belt, wouldn't they just have the one belt? Or does he occasionally have to, like...
Defend each one? Like,
He seems to defend them all at once.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know how it works. My knowledge of belt title defending, all I got is watching wrestling as a kid.
even that doesn't make sense. It's like, so
They make it up as they go.
Yeah. It's like, I don't understand. Why is the top contender the guy that pisses off the boss all the time?
Why is the top contender a guy that committed assault?
Yeah.
Like, he assaulted the champion and now he gets a shot at the title? How does that work?
There's no rankings or anything. I don't get this.
Oh, man.
But, yeah. So, I guess some of the things, like, Paulo's got his, like, daughter in this one. She's... Adonis. I'm
Come on!
sorry.
Come on!
They're too similar.
Apollo's been dead since the mid-'80s. Let it go.
Okay. Once I start saying one, I just keep saying it.
You just call him Creed if it's that hard for you.
Fine.
Or just say Donnie.
Donnie.
Everyone calls him that anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Donnie's got his daughter in this
There you
movie.
go.
She's... I don't know how old she is. Supposed to be like 10?
Nah, she has to be like maybe if it's
Like
7 years.
8?
If it's 7 years after Creed 2, she's like 7.
Okay.
She looks about 7.
Yeah.
She's pretty young still.
Yeah. She's deaf. You know, there's the sign language parts, which the way they handle that is pretty good. Like, the subtitles are pretty easy. Like, sometimes I have trouble with subtitles, but, like, I don't know. They're getting better and better at like blending these like subtitles into movies with like people speaking other languages. Maybe it's because they're not always at the bottom of the screen, so you kind of like notice them more now. So it's just like, oh, okay, I like this better because like I can actually like follow this when it's like not on the bottom of the screen.
Sure.
It doesn't like avoid my focus of like, wait, I want to look up there, but I gotta look down here now. Yeah.
And sometimes, depending on where you're sitting in a movie theater, that could be really awkward. Like that time we saw Shin Godzilla.
Oh, yeah.
And we were close to the screen, so we had to look here for the words and all the way up there for the rest of the movie.
Boy, Shin Godzilla is a weird movie.
I would have to rewatch it because I had trouble following it.
I just remember that one part. You want to be president someday, don't you? It's not how it works, Japan.
Oh, they don't know. They don't care.
I mean, looking in, I can understand why they think it works that way. But anyway.
Talking about the wrong franchise.
Yes.
Focus on the boxing franchise.
Yeah. But I guess, like, we get to see Damien fight this guy, Felix, and,
We find out later that, I mean, I've kind of clicked on it right away, that because he was originally supposed to fight Drago for the title, but somebody just randomly assaults Drago, hurts him, he can't make the fight date.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, all right, this is definitely Damien. Yeah, this is shenanigans.
You know, at the beginning of the movie, I think, like, Damien's, like, you know, not super bad or anything, but then when that happens, it's, like, kind of, like, almost like he reveals himself to be, like, the nefarious, like, villain almost.
Yeah, it's also, like, one of those things that maybe that he wouldn't have done that had he was able to, like, finagle the fight sooner, but
Yeah.
he kind of, like, forced it. He's like, all right, if you're not going to give me the fight, I'll take the fight.
Yeah, he's like, I'll make my own shot.
Yeah.
So, like, he kind of, like, guilt trips, like, Adonis into, like, kind of giving him a shot, and then, you know, gets the assault on Drago, and then we get the fight between him and Felix, and he, like, murders Felix.
She fucked him up.
It was, like, pretty graphic. Like, even, like, the part where, like, you know, Damien takes his, like, mouth guard off, and he has, like, the tooth that he spits out. I was
did
like,
not need to see that.
I was like, holy shit. But, yeah, and then we get the scene where, like, you know, Adonis confronts him at, like, his beach party with a bunch of criminals, I guess.
Hangers on.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And that's kind of where the main conflict begins.
We find out when Adonis's adopted mom shows him the letters that Damien had been sending him, that she kind of held because she wanted to sever that influence from Adonis's life. amongst them was a picture of him and I guess one of his fellow cellmates, who Adonis recognized as the assaulter of Drago.
Yeah.
And he's like, motherfucker.
Yeah. But, like,
and then you know how these movies go. Train, 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 punch, punch, punch. Train, punch, punch.
Yeah.
It's kind of a formula, If you're tired of it, it's Creed 3. What are you doing?
There's some good training in this movie.
It's Creed 3 and by default Rocky 9.
Yeah. Pretty much. Some good training in this movie. I like when Damien's like climbing like the 2 ropes, and it was like, whoa, that's insane.
Pull the plane.
Yeah, I was like, okay. Like, yeah, for some reason, like Adonis is just training in like a aircraft like hangar for some reason.
Well, he learned from Rocky that the best training you could do is just in a random location with weird shit.
Yeah.
Some of the best training Rocky ever did was in the woods and in a barn.
Yeah.
He beat a giant man, Russian man, by doing that.
It's true.
He ran up a mountain.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Adonis is like wearing like body weights and stuff. It seems like Damien, he's like training at like one of those like beach gyms that you see in like I guess California or whatever. Those like weird outside gyms.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, you've never seen those? Where
No.
they're like outdoor gyms.
I guess you can do that there.
Yeah.
It never rains or snows there.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly why. Like
except recently.
yeah, if you were on the East Coast, that shit would rust like immediately being outside. It's humid around here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting seeing the 2 like approaches. It's almost like also weird because like Adonis, he's got like so much more money now, and it's almost like it's like, oh, he's like he's got all like the latest and greatest like training equipment.
Right.
And then Damien is kind of like not really training on old stuff, but it just doesn't seem like it's as high tech as Adonis's stuff.
He's doing some CrossFit crap.
Yeah.
I did like during the montage, there's like the part where they're both kind of like looking in a mirror as if they're looking at each other.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of an interesting
It's kind of a thing like that too, where right before the fight between Damien and Felix, they kind of like look at each other, but like the walls in between them.
Yeah.
Like it was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. There's a lot of like style to this movie. And I'll say this movie has a lot of like really cool like hip hop music in it. Like the other Creed movies do too, but like this one, I kind of like noticed it more, and maybe it was just because like it kind of went for some like different types of things. Like there was like more like slow-mo kind of happening in this one, and I guess we'll kind of get to like the big fight between Adonis and Damien, where what did you think of where like everything like around them like kind of like fades away and they're just by themselves fighting each other in the ring in that like weird void world?
I have mixed feelings on it. On one hand, the fighting's awesome.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I like the idea of everything kind of going dark around them, but seeing like the arena being empty and then like
it gets like
the
distorted.
jail cell,
yeah.
and that was a little much. I was just like, this feels weird because it's so different from anything in this entire franchise.
Yeah, I heard Michael B. Jordan like was kind of inspired by like anime.
He's an anime fan.
Yeah, and there was like aspects of that I saw that like worked really well. Like I like when Creed and Damien are fighting each other and they're both at their corners and they look across and they see each other like as like their kid versions, and I was like, okay, that works.
Yeah, that worked. I was
like
cool with that.
The void dimension was a little weird just because it was like all distorted. Like I get what it was going for like nothing else matters to them except like them fighting each other.
Yeah, that's why I think for me it would have worked better if it was just black and not like the empty arena.
Yeah.
It was interesting because it also like they did that in place of like a montage of the fight.
Yeah.
Which is what they would usually do in these movies.
Yeah, definitely. Because
I mean, look, they tried something different. I had credit to that, I guess.
Yeah, definitely have to call out the cross-counter punch each other in the face Dragon Ball Z punch that they did.
Yeah, and that's apparently a deliberate shout out because Michael B. Jordan mentioned it in an interview.
It happened twice in Dragon Ball Z. Once with Goku and Vegeta, and then once with Goten and Trunks in the World Martial Arts Tournament. It was cool to see in live action, honestly. I was like, nice.
It's the best movie you're ever going to see doing something from Dragon Ball Z.
Hey, man, this movie, just having that in it makes it a 10 out of 10 now. But
we kind of, I alluded to it before, but before like the fight happens.
Oh yeah, the sad part.
The saddest part of the movie, because early on we find out that Mama Creed previously had a stroke, and they're trying to like get her to like come live with them so they could take care of her.
She seems to be doing pretty well for a lady that had a stroke, at least like talking and stuff though.
Yeah.
Like. Kind of
so whatever had happened, it must have been some time ago.
Yeah.
But recent enough where they're still like, come live with us, be with us, and just in case anything happens.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, something happens.
Yeah.
She has another stroke and she passes away.
Yeah, and it's sad. I mean, it probably would be a little more, I would have to say, but like Bill alluded to, we had distractions during the movie theater whenever it was like a more like quiet moment.
I never more in my life wanted to take my soda and just fling it at some assholes in a movie theater. And I was in range too. I feel like I should have.
Yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't have. And I didn't. But there's part of me that feels like I should have. Because shut the fuck up.
Yeah, seriously.
And if there was parents there, fuck you. Tell your kids to shut up.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried simply turning off the TV, sitting down with your children, and hitting them?
Yeah, but I can't even think what I was gonna say now because I'm like, those dumb kids.
Like what I was able to like zero in and focus on was good. I like when she kind of, at first you think she's talking to him, but then as she's fading out, you realize, oh no, she's talking to Apollo.
Right.
I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it was a good moment. There was also the moment before that where like Adonis has a fight with his mom about the letters, and I'm surprised you didn't mention it, but we get the other Creed people mentioned.
I almost forgot. Yeah, they actually mentioned the other two Creed kids.
Apparently Adonis didn't get along with them.
Which is okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
They at least got referenced.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who are they? Where are they? Is Adonis gonna fight one of them? I mean, they'd be in the like 50s, but still.
Yeah. So did Apollo have two little boys?
I had a boy and a girl.
Okay. I would assume one of the guys carrying the casket would have to have been Adonis's brother then.
I would assume, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't understand why they've just never done anything with that.
Yeah.
It's been 3 movies. And we only got an actual deliberate mention in the 3rd one.
Yeah.
No appearance, just a mention. I don't get that. It's weird.
It is weird.
I mean, they were never like named characters. They were always just kind of there.
Yeah.
And they were only in the background of like Rocky 2, really. Just to sort of like show some of Apollo's home life and show, oh, yeah, he's got a family, he's a regular guy. And he's reading hate mail where people are calling him a fake and a fraud and a liar and that he should kill himself.
Oh, man.
It's like Twitter.
Wow.
Yeah. I just remember watching that part and be like, man, nothing's changed. People used to just mail that shit. And now they'll just post it on the internet for everyone to see.
It's instantaneous now.
Yeah. Nothing actually changes, people.
Yeah.
It's just different.
It is different.
It's just different, but the same.
Yeah. But yeah, so we get the mention of the Creed kids. The other one.
Where are they?
Doesn't matter. It's
I guess not. I guess they don't
it's
get
Adonis's
along.
story.
I'm just saying, if Mama Creed had a stroke, and like, why is only Adonis and his wife stepping up, being like, come live with us? Where's Apollo Jr. and I don't know, Apolita at?
Man.
I don't know what their names are. They don't have names, so I'm giving them names. And I'm going with the super egotistical Apollo naming convention.
Man. Apollo's real name is not even Apollo. It's like Larry Sanders.
No, it's Larry Weathers.
Weathers, okay. Right.
Well, it's Carl Weathers, actually.
Right. But, anywho, well, we get the final battle between Damien and Apollo, Adonis. Damn it! As soon as you say that name, I just like.
Come on!
Sorry.
It's Creed 3.
I'm dumb.
Jeez, I thought I was bad with names.
Anyway. Yeah, we get the final round between them, and I guess they go 12 rounds. Like,
yeah, they skip.
After the void dimension, all of a sudden it's like the 12th round, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Neat. But, you know, we get Adonis actually knocking out Damien. But I like at the end where, you know, for the most part, they kind of, I guess, settled their grudges with each other.
I mean, you know, truth be told, sometimes you just get shit out of your system in a situation like that. Whatever Damien had in him against Adonis, he let it all out there in the ring.
Yeah.
They literally punched it all out of each other.
Yeah, seriously.
Look, truth be told, sometimes brothers fight.
Yeah.
And, you know, after the fight, you're like, that shit's crazy, man. Let's go watch Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they were. I mean, maybe if they make Creed 4, we see them having a better relationship. It could happen. Apparently, Michael B. Jordan's got an idea for a 4th Creed.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Because, like...
He's taking the reins and he's running with it.
I mean, why not, you know? They're good movies.
Look, he got past the torch and he's like, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah. Why not?
It's like, why should I stop at 3? Stallone didn't stop at 3.
Yeah. There's a nice moment, too, with, like, Creed kind of training his daughter, who is, like, interested in boxing, at least right now, but she's pretty little.
Yeah, I mean, Rocky's son was kind of the same way, was interested in fighting when he was younger, but grew out of it.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
I mean, I don't think she could fight professionally. She's deaf. Can deaf people fight professionally?
I think so.
I mean, I guess it's all visually, but
yeah,
no one can say, duck!
I guess you would have to have a situation with, like, the bell where, like, you would have, like, a light flashing or something.
I guess so. I mean, look, I'm sure there's probably something happens.
Yeah.
I don't follow this kind of professional sports, so I'm sure.
I'm sure there's some sort of, like, visual aid you'd have to have, like, maybe instead of the...
Maybe there's a specific league she can join.
Yeah, maybe instead of the bell rings, like, they just, like, turn off the lights or something.
I don't know.
Who knows? But yeah, that's an interesting hiccup that I didn't think of. I'm like, oh, it's fine, but then I'm like, oh wait, she can't hear the bell. That's important.
Or the ref being like, stop!
It's like that joke in Family Guy with, like, the Death Boxing League or whatever, where they're just ringing the bell and the guy's just, like, beating the shit out of the one guy.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. But, yeah, we get a nice moment with Adonis and Bianca and their daughter in the ring at the end. I almost was like, oh, man, are they going to do the thing where, like, they do, like, the ending with, like, the drawing thing? But they didn't do that.
No, they just kind of pan through the ropes. And if they wanted to end it here, they could.
Yeah.
It's a good, solid end to his story if they wanted it to be. But, like I said, apparently Michael B. Jordan's got an idea for a 4th one. I don't know what they could do. I know that it's not happening because Stallone had the falling out with the Rocky producers, but, like, he had an idea where Rocky would, for, like, another Rocky movie where he would be mentoring someone else, and I was like, oh, that's a cool idea, because then that guy could fight Creed.
Yeah. It's a shame that Stallone had a falling out with the producers.
Yeah, because you almost feel like there's a version of this movie where after Mother Creed died, then that's where Rocky would have a cameo.
Yeah.
Like, he would be at the funeral or something.
Yeah. Yeah. But who knows?
I'm just glad of this. They didn't off-screen kill Rocky.
Yeah.
He just gets mentioned in passing a couple times, just sort of like as a thing that, like, with regards to, like, his fight with Apollo and stuff. There's no, like, Yeah, man, after Rocky died, it's like, no, don't you fucking dare. Don't you fucking dare.
Yeah, no, they want to do that. Like, it's one of those things that, like, you never know with these things. It could get resolved, and who knows.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon bought MGM. Maybe Jeff Bezos, Amazon guy, write a check. Just write a check.
Let Stallone ride to space in one of your penis-shaped spaceships or something.
Just give him money.
Yeah.
Maybe we could get that Rocky prequel series he was developing. That sounded kind of interesting.
Really? A Rocky prequel series?
Something he was working on.
Okay.
He had a treatment. It could have been interesting. I don't know.
I guess. Yeah.
You want streaming content, don't you? It's a known IP. Just saying.
Because everybody's afraid to make anything original now.
Yeah, so much so that they'll take their new terrible ideas and just slap a franchise over them. Insert Velma joke here.
Oh, wow. You actually mentioned that show.
That's all I'll say about it. You know, everyone's favorite show. The show that united the internet in hatred.
And it's getting a season 2 because of that.
It's not been confirmed.
Okay.
I mean, it could happen, but it might be one of those things where it's like, look, we were already working on it. Because that's how animation
takes a long time.
I mean, it's how that works too sometimes.
Yeah.
Or shelve it for tax purposes. Come on. Fucking Zaslow.
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
But
they're making more Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and that's all I care about Warner Brothers making now.
I know.
But moving on.
But Creed 3. Very enjoyable movie. Everyone's pretty good in it. You know, everyone does fine.
Yeah.
I don't mind that there was no Rocky because it's like, it's about time. Look, it's the third one. They're out of nostalgia. They had to do their own thing finally, and I'm glad they did.
And it mostly it entirely takes place on like the West Coast this time, so
there's no like
reason for Rocky to really be involved in this one.
Yeah, like they were smart enough to keep it localized to LA because if they were in Philly, the entire time be like, "Where's Rocky? What's going on? Is he dead? What'd you do to him?"
He's fine.
But I can just infer in my mind that either Rocky's back in Philly running his restaurant, or maybe he's in Vancouver playing catch with his grandson some more.
Yeah, you know.
It's fine. I'm cool with that.
But Creed 3, really good. A good ending, I guess. You know, fourth one, I have no idea what it would be.
I mean, I had no idea what a third Creed could be.
Yeah.
And it was this, and it was pretty good. So, you know, if you got a good idea, you got a good idea. It better be a good idea. Just saying, don't have a street fight though.
It's gonna be like Street Fight, where like all of a sudden like Creed is just like, "Who are you?" It's like, "My name is Bison," and it's like, "Oh my God, it's M. Bison from Street Fighter."
No.
Have you ever heard of Shadowlong?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Then he's gonna meet like Ryu and Ken, and then learn Hado in the woods, cause Street Fighter. And then Damien will be like the Balrog character, and
oh God,
it'll be amazing.
I mean, Street Fighter could do worse, I guess.
It's true. But anywho, Creed 3 is good. Go watch it. Something else next week. Podcast over.